Hi, welcome back to Cat Live at Home. My name is Vanessa, and today I'm doing a cardboard loom project that you can weave fabric on. This is the one that I made the other day. For this project, you will need a piece of cardboard, three or four different colors of string. I am using a cotton-based yarn, a ruler with centimeters, a pencil, a pair of scissors, and some masking tape. So first, you will want to find the center point of your cardboard and mark it. You can use cardboard from a shoebox or an old cereal box, or if you have recycling cardboard or boxes from packages you get, you can also get cardboard from the post office if you need to do that. It's available there. This is a square that measures about, or rectangle, sorry, that measures from about 16 centimeters by, let's see, this is 29 centimeters. So to find the middle point, I'm going to want to make a mark at about 8 centimeters. And I'm going to use my pencil to mark the middle point at 8 centimeters, measuring from the top and the bottom. And I will just draw a line with my pencil to connect the middle point. And then I will measure out centimeters from the middle point. And I will go with about, I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 on each side. I'm going to go a little bit more and do 4 from each side. So I'm going to have a total of 8 lines going vertically from the top of my core cardboard to the bottom. And I'm using corrugated cardboard because that was the type that I had available. I also like corrugated cardboard because it has, like, it's reinforced, it lasts a little bit longer. I've used this piece of cardboard like maybe 3 or 4 times to make these projects. And also with the lines on the inside, if you make your notches, which I will show you, perpendicular to the corrugation, it helps resist tears. So I'm going to take my scissors and cut these notches every centimeter. And here I have some pre-measured lengths of string. I'm going to make the weft right now, which is the horizontal string lines. And you want your string to be a little bit longer than your piece of cardboard, so you have something, like you have length to tape to the back. And that also helps you to have some string so that you can tie off the ends of your fabric later. And And you want to be sort of snug at this point with your string. And I'm alternating colors, so that's why I use 2 colors to start. You want to be able to see, you know, the difference, because it'll help you later with your weaving. And then I'm going to have to cut a couple more pieces here. So I have 4 that I pre-cut, 5 that I pre-cut. Oh, I'm missing 1. That's okay, that's why I will pre-cut more. Alright, so I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 lines. So it's going to be 4 that I do in blue and 4 that I do in yellow. This needs to be cut a little bit more. And so I'm just going to sort of snugly kind of pull on the yarn here and make sure that I have enough space to take them to the back of my piece of cardboard. And then I can kind of cut them to all kind of match later when I get to the point. Alright. So this is the setup for the cardboard weaving loom. And it looks like this on the front and like this on the back. And I'm going to start with this fun purple string. And I'm just going to kind of wind a few lengths around my hand like this. Like, you don't want to use too much or it'll get tangled while you do your weaving. And then I'm going to take one end and I'm going to set it, I'm going to attach it into like the leftmost notch at the top, and I'm going to take that down also. So that will stay in place. And then I'm going to use the pencil, and to start my first row, which is the warp of your loom here, which is that part that you're actually going to do the weaving with, I'm going to take the pencil and I'm going to separate the yellow strings from the blue strings so that I can feed the yarn kind of in between them, and I'm going to start off by going from left to right. And like a lot of things, like this process is about like repetition. So like practice, practice, practice makes perfect. You just want to gently sort of tug your yarn through. And then you'll take your pencil out and you'll separate out the blue strings And then from right to left, you'll take your yarn and you're going to go under the blue strings and over the yellow strings. Okay. And you're just going to repeat this pattern several times. And so like the size of your cardboard is going to kind of be the outer dimension, like as big as your weaving project is going to end up being. And so if you have like a really big piece of cardboard, you can make a really, really big, ambitious piece of fabric, or you can make a bunch of little pieces of fabric and attach them together and make scarves or blankets. But this is kind of like a cool way to make knitting projects without really knitting, or yarn projects, you know, if you don't necessarily know how to do that. This is the one that I started yesterday. It was a little bit more ambitious. It had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 16 strings. So this one, I'm going to show you on this one how to use multiple different colors to make patterns. So I've kind of got 2 pieces of string going, and this one is getting to the point where it's like I'm almost out. So I'm going to show you, it's really easy just to add another piece of string. So I'm going to add this green string, and I'm going to, that's not too long, I'm going to use like this whole piece of green string. It's probably about 2 yards. 2 meters of string. So I'm just going to tie the green string to the end of the purple string here. And it's just like a simple little square knot. And I just want to make that pretty snug. And then I'm even going to like trim off the tail here. And you just want to make sure, like I have a few little tails of string that's like too small to use for this project. So I'm going to set that aside and make sure that I am able to throw that into the garbage later. Alright, so for this one, I'm going to make kind of like a diagonal pattern. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to separate out, I'm going to start by pulling up some of the pink strings. I'm going to go about halfway through. And I'm going to go under the pink strings and over the yellow strings on this one. And I'm just going to do that a couple of times because I have a bunch of purple here. So this time I'm going to pull up on the yellow strings, and I'm going to go under the yellow strings and over the pink strings. And I just alternate. So from going left to right, this time the pink strings are on top, and then from going right to left, the yellow strings will be on top. And I just need like one more pass, and then I'll start to have the green thread visible. It doesn't really matter whether you start going from left to right or from right to left, as long as you consistently alternate. Okay. You just want to continue with whatever pattern you start with. Alright, so now I can see the green string. And I'm going to go one more string towards the middle here, so it'll be a little bit longer on this pass. And if you want to add like another color, like this one, you can like pretty much just tie it on. I tied this pink string to the end of this turquoise string, but if you want to add like even another color, you can pretty much start at any point and just tie a square knot with your string onto wherever point you want to start with. It's just kind of the back and forth, under, over pattern that is kind of the process here. So this time I'm going to go one more pink string towards the middle, or green string. Sorry, I'm on the green strings right now. That's why I use the pencil to keep my place here. Just wherever I'm at. And periodically, you kind of want to like push up on your string just to make sure that it's kind of knit together. And you can use thicker strings too, or thinner strings, just depending on how much detail you want to add to your project. And yep, I'm just going to sort of continue with the diagonal pattern. And just repeat the process. So because I used more strings on this one, it is going to be a wider piece of fabric at the end. So the one with 8 strings will measure about 7.5 centimeters after it kind of like tugs together. Ideally 8 centimeters. This one, because it got like, you kind of want to be gentle, but you will see how it kind of like pulls together in spots. That's why you don't want to pull too hard on your string. This one's going to be about 12 centimeters. And then in a minute, even though this isn't finished, I'm going to show you how to take all of the strings from the top end and sort of tie them together so that you can eventually complete your piece of yarn weaving and take it off the cardboard. So like anything, the whole point of this project is to really trust the process and just kind of keep going. Sometimes your progress seems slow, but as long as you're consistent about it, you'll get where you're going. Okay. So now I'm going over the yellow strings and under the pink strings. It's really nice to sort of take some time and focus on something more tangible. And obviously that's kind of the opportunity you have here. If you do this project, I'd really like to see your version posted in the comments section later on. And so now I'm going to add the other half of the diagonal here that I created with this pink string. And you kind of have to go back into your weaving here. So I'm like going above the green here and I'm just adding this pink. And you can kind of like push it together later so that it lines up. You want to try and get a little bit of an overlap. if you can. So I'm going over the pink strings and under the yellow strings, and I'm just kind of continuing with this diagonal. And I'm just going to try and get here so it just kind of like is connected. So I just kind of undid, I lost my place, I undid the one that I did. So I have to start over. Alright, so I'm going over the pink strings and under the yellow strings, and I'm going to sort of go into the overlap here so that it stays connected. Just gotta keep trying, and then with this process, you know, it's really easy to self-correct because you can kind of see everything as you're doing it, which is what I really like. Awesome. So now I'm just kind of backing it up a little bit. So you get this kind of cool zigzag pattern between the different colors of yarn that I'm using right here. So when I tie off here, I'm going to start with the top so that I can kind of continue with the bottom section. So I'm going to carefully remove this masking tape, and I'm going to try and go like 1 or 2 pieces of string at a time, just so that it doesn't unravel too quickly while I'm doing this part of the project. So this is the first piece of warp string. I'm going to tie it to the leftmost on the front, just like a square knot. On the back, I'm going to go right to left. And I'm just going to tie each string to the next one so that it won't unravel. And because I have the colors alternated, it's easier to see which one should be next. So I'm going to keep tying the pink string to the yellow string, and then the yellow string to the pink string, and the pink string to the yellow string. So the one that's next will help me remember the current one that I'm on. And it's just a simple square knot. So now I'm tying this yellow string to this pink string. And because I have these notches, it's really helping me keep organized here, because otherwise I could see how if you try to take them off all at the same time, it would be really easy to lose where you're at in your pattern. And this one's a little bit short, but I think it'll still work. I like having a good 2 to 3 inches generally to work with when I get to this point of the project, but it just depends on what you're going to use it for. You really don't have to do anything with it. It's just nice to kind of do something tangible sometimes. But my goal, which is kind of a long-term goal, is to have a bunch of these little rectangles that I can stitch together to make a blanket. But if you just want to do one, it makes kind of a fun armband. And this yarn is like super fun to work with. I like sort of cotton blends. Alright, so I could just pull this off and this would be a complete section of like the end, but because I want to keep weaving this particular project, I'm just going to take it back on for now. So yeah, I really hope that you like this project, and if you do your own, I would love to see one in the comments. Alright, that's all for now. Hopefully I'll see you next time.